I was taking some requests and it sort of sounds like I said, you know, kind of all the things, and it's not really all that surprising to me, you know, like the kind of requests were neck and shoulders and hips, and you know, it's one of those things that when we think about the physical body and our emotional body, I know for me as a human, a lot of the time when I have stress or tension or emotion, it all ends up right here in my physical body, you know. And as a teacher for over 10 years, same thing with the hips. Like I talk to students all the time and they're like, man, when I get stressed, when I get tense or whatever it is, everything around here hurts. And you know, I think what this does is this really speaks to the wisdom of the body, and that inextricable relationship between our physical body and our emotional body. It's one of those things where so oftentimes the body, our physical body, is actually rather intuitive and intelligent. And typically before I even know that I'm feeling stressed or anxious or overcome, my body starts trying to talk to me and tell me that something is amiss, that something is out of balance. Typically, I notice that my breath is getting shallow, or that my heart has started racing, or that my mouth is getting dry, or that my neck is feeling sore. Like all of these things are usually like the little clues that tip me off that, oh, there's something like internally that I have not given my attention to. And so what I want to say about that is that this practice of yoga is a practice of union, right? Of like bringing together and marrying together all aspects of our being, and understanding that they are all completely connected and linked together. And so as we move on our mats today, feel all the feels, like feel what you feel and let it all be as it is, whether it's physical sensation, emotional, whether it's all kind of like discombobulated together. Know that there's no right or wrong way, and actually this practice is designed to help us build a healthier relationship with sensation, with feeling, and through that, like being able to accept every single aspect of ourself, and self with like a capital S. So we'll start in a child's pose. Let's do that. And in your child's pose, you know, go ahead and drop your head down towards the ground. And if it's going to serve you to take your knees out a little extra wide today, to kind of get into your hips, to take your arms out a little extra wide. You might even turn your palms face up. That might feel nice on your shoulders. And then you're welcome to kind of rock your head a little side to side, massaging temple to temple, or sway your hips, circle your wrists, like any of these just like little movements that feel organic to you as a means of saying hello to your body. Starting to come into a space of embodiment, of felt connection this morning. And really vital that we're not like trying to make anything happen. We're not trying to do anything in particular or force an outcome. Just resting in your experience of what is. Solid ground beneath you. Steady breath within you. Maybe even a deep breath into your nose. Open your mouth, sigh it out, let it empty. Yeah. And maybe another one or two of those, right? If that feels like it would serve. Yeah, I know that you can do that at any point in time throughout your practice, even throughout your day, right? If you start to feel like that accumulation, like kind of take the lid off, you know, like open your mouth, take the lid off, let out whatever wants out. And start to breathe in and out through your nose, just a gentle, purposeful breath. And your breath, just this reminder that you have what you need. And so in your child's pose, welcome to stretch your arms out a little bit longer and kind of send your hips back a little further towards your heels. And on your next out breath, thread your right hand underneath your left arm, a little thread the needle in your child's pose. You can bring forehead or right cheek down to your mat. You can take this really passively if you'd like to kind of get bone heavy and really soften through your skin. If you prefer, you can be more active just by spider tipping your left fingers on the ground and kind of hollowing out through the left side of your body. You might kind of feel a nice opening through your lats. And breathe deeply into the sides of your body. Seek out those little crevices, those tiny little places. Send your breath. And when you're ready, on your next inhale, unwind right arm forward. And as you breathe out, spread left arm under right. And always willing to be just in this like kind of back and forth conversation with physical body, emotional body, like with what is, like not trying to force any outcomes here, but just in a dance in the moment. Like, do I need a little bit more of an active approach? Or perhaps today, would it be more helpful to just kind of soften in? And knowing that there's no box, no need to put yourself in a box with that. Maybe it's just a moment-to-moment decision, what's needed in this moment to create a state of being that's more peaceful, more easeful, more free. And on your next inhale, unwind your left arm forward. Kind of stretch both of your arms out long. You might even spider tip your fingers here. Kind of really get that opening through the sides of your body. And then as you breathe in, just rock forward into a really lazy up dog. So plant your hands, let your hips and chest come forward, and just keep your knees and shins down as you lift your chest. Really good. Soften through your elbows. You might sway a little side to side, roll your shoulders back. Good. And then when you're ready, as you exhale, child's pose. Just press through your palms, pull your belly in, and send your hips back to your heels. Good. As you breathe in, rock forward into that easy up dog. And you can also stay on your forearms if you'd like to, or come to a table. Child's pose is going to be your exhale. Just rock back, hips to heels, hugging your belly in. So you kind of get the idea, right? Start to take this on your own, like a wave as you breathe in, just rocking forward, an easy lift of your chest. And as you exhale, hips to your heels, rounding your spine, maybe taking that opportunity to drop your head. About 3 more. Feel free to play with taking hands wider, for a little bit more open space in your shoulders. You might keep your eyes closed if that helps you like rest in the experience of your breath as it flows. Really good. And then on your next inhale into that loungy upward dog, let's take it into a little bit more of a dance. So as you exhale, you'll swing your hips back towards your right heel and let them kind of circle to your left heel. And then as you inhale, come back forward. And as you exhale, sway hips out back to your right heel, over to your left heel. And then on the inhale, back forward. And so we call these like dancing lions. I also had a student one time call them disco kitties. So really just, like wherever you want to be today with it. The idea is just that you're coloring outside the lines, starting to play outside of the traditional shape and moving rather in a way that's intuitive for you today. Your circles might be really narrow. They might be really like wide. Maybe you linger on one side or the other. And when it feels natural, just reverse the direction of your dance, following your breath. Rather than worrying about what it looks like or doing it a certain way, right? Like moving into the felt experience and letting that kind of guide you through. When it feels kind of even, as you breathe in, just make your way into that loungy upward facing dog, and just heart forward. And from here, we're just going to lower belly down, right on down to the ground, all the way down. Good. Put your forehead or cheek on the ground. You can have elbows wide or sway your heels side to side. Opposite cheek rest. Nothing to do, right? Just like get bone heavy, feel into the ground below. And then from here, take your arms back along your sides if they aren't yet, and turn your palms down to the ground. Like so, palms, knuckles facing down. And then from here, bring your forehead onto the floor and start to press anything that's touching the ground, press it down. So press the tops of your feet. Good. Press your forehead, press your palms, and you might even get like a really nice little tractioning in the back of your neck. Keep breathing deeply. And then from here, start to draw your belly button up and away from the ground. It's almost like you're creating a little mouse house beneath your belly in the floor. And from here, as you breathe in, just start to lift your chest, just your chest. Your head's going to naturally lift. Beautiful, guys. Yes, just like that. Good. Smooth and steady breath. Keep pressing through hands and toenails. Take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, lower down, rest fully. Good. We'll do that again. So create that little mouse house. And as you breathe in, go ahead and lift your chest. Let your head naturally follow the lift. Yeah, and you might even like kind of crawl your fingertips back towards your toenails. Keep stretching your toes into the ground. Lovely. Take one more breath. And then lower down, release it, let it go. Good. We're going to do this one more time. And if you'd like to, you can start exploring lifting everything. So you'll kind of pull your belly up and in, press into the floor so you have that support, and then lift your chest up. And then from there, maybe your thighs, your feet, your hands might start to lift. Mickey's taken a bind. You can clasp your hands for a shoulder stretch. Good. About 3 more breaths, like smooth, steady, unrestricted flow. So give it all you got for one more inhale. Then lower down to the floor and let it go. Child's pose. Press hands beneath shoulders. Draw your hips back to your heels. Take a moment to drop in. Know that you can be in child's pose at any point in time to rest and recollect yourself. As you inhale, shift forward into that loungy upward facing dog. Press through your hands, lift chest. Now we'll come into down dog. Tuck your toes, roll over them, lift your hips to the ceiling, and drop your head. In your down dog, take any little movements that feel natural. And so there might be like a pedaling of your feet, a swaying of your hips. Could be a little shaking of your head or pulsing of your chest. All these things, right? Animal movement, intuitive movement. And all the while, tuck your chin and get really long through the back of your neck. You might shake a little yes and no. Roll your head around. Yeah, and then as you inhale, just lift your heels up. Come onto your tippy toes. And as you exhale, pull your heels down to the ground and lift your toes. Good. As you inhale, lift your heels up really high. There we go. As you exhale, pull heels down, lift your toes up. Yeah, good. Take a few more. You can do this with soft knees, right? Strong arms, pressing hands to floor. Starting to pull really deeply into your core so you have support. Last one. Really good. On your next inhale, come forward into a plank or knees on the ground tabletop. If your shoulders are cranky at you today, I would definitely recommend knees down. Then downward dog is going to be your exhale. Lift your hips up and drop your head heavy. Again, as you breathe in, roll forward into plank or all fours. Downward dog as you breathe out. Press it back, soft knees. There we go. Couple more, 3 more. Following breath. Real good. Ujjayi. Last one. Forward, plank or table. We'll meet here. Then go ahead and put your knees down on the ground and lower your body back to the floor, all the way down. Good. Then from here, reach your arms back along your sides. You can do what we did before, or you can clasp your hands together, palm to palm behind your back. With that palm to palm connection, bend your elbows, start to draw them towards each other, and you might even straighten your arms. Mouse house beneath your belly, Uddiyana Bandha, your core. Go ahead and lift your body off the floor, locust pose. You can press your feet down or lift them up. Yeah, look at these ladies. They have lovely long lines, right? No strain in the neck, no strain in the jaw. Take one more inhale, then lower to the floor and release it down. Good. Let's do that 2 more times. Locust pose. So getting strong in the back of the body, opening through the chest. Take your bind, hug your belly, and rise up high. Good. Soft through your face, like a picture of grace, right? All around cheeks and eyes. Take one more breath. Lower it down, release it. And now this last one, you can keep the arm bind, or you could stretch your arms forward for a little bit more core, palms face in, right? You could keep your arms back along your sides. Good, here we go. Rise up from core with breath. Yeah, eyes steady, breathing 5. Good, 4, maybe really press your palms together. Squeeze right here. That's it, girl. 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down, rest, press to your child's pose. Drawing your belly in, hips to heels, head low. Reset, clean slate. And moving on your breath as you inhale, loungy upward facing dog or true up dog. You might press into your toenails and lift your knees. Downward facing dog, gonna be your exhale. Hips up and back, head low. Take a clearing breath into your nose. Maybe open your mouth, sigh it if it serves. We're gonna do a little bit of flow. So as you breathe in, come forward into plank or all fours. And as you exhale, lower down to your mat, all the way down. And now as you inhale, you choose, it could be locust pose, it could be that cobra variation that we did earlier. And as you exhale, take a child's pose. Draw belly in, press hips to your heels. As you inhale, up dog variation. You might even lift your toes into swan. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Good, couple more. As you breathe in, plank or knees down, lower body to the ground. As you inhale, locust. So without using the shoulders, you're using your core. Yeah, child's pose. As you exhale, belly in, drop down. As you inhale, easy up dog or full up dog, rock forward, stretch up. Downward facing dog, hips high, head low. Let's do 3 more. 3 more this flow. And just make it your own. Maybe you close your eyes. Maybe it takes an extra breath or 2 as you move through. It doesn't always have to be like 1 breath at a time. If you're working with kind of shorter breaths today, maybe you take a few extra breaths. The important thing is that we're moving in a place of connection, right? With the breath that you're breathing, like with that felt experience of your body. Not in a space of forcing or doing, but rather in a space of feeling and being felt. Good, last one through. We're gonna meet in our downward facing dog when you finish your flow. No rush. And down dog can always be that child's pose. It can always be that mobile, moving, downward facing dog. Good. Breath is your anchor. Texture, sound. And from your downward facing dog, walk your feet to your hands. Take a ragdoll pose at the top of your yoga mat. Taking your feet a little extra wide today, perhaps, especially if hamstrings are feeling a little bit achy and cranky. Bend your knees generously and fold over your legs. And this might be a place where you could put like hands on blocks or forearms on blocks, right? So that you can really start to press down into your feet, stretch your hips up without straining. Good. Welcome to sway side to side or shake your head. Let your shoulders fall away from your neck, from your ears. Yeah. And then as you're ready, take a halfway lift on your in-breath, hands to shins or blocks. Just stretch your chest forward. And as you exhale, bow over your legs. Do this again. So as you inhale, stretch chest wall forward, lengthen. And as you exhale, fold over your legs, soften your knees. You might come up 1 notch higher. Take 1 more. A big breath in, heart way forward, lovely. Bow as you breathe out, hang your head. Rise all the way up to stand. So press to your feet, reach your arms out and up, stretch high. And bring your hands to connect together over your heart. Maybe close your eyes or drop your arms. And from here, as you breathe in, reach your arms out and up overhead. Here, as you exhale, take your arms out wide and clasp your palms together behind your back, palm to palm. And so if you're working with super tight shoulders today, maybe your thumbs stay on the back of your hips and you just bend your elbows in towards each other. It's still going to stretch your chest. You can also start to straighten your arms. Pull your fists to the floor. Press through your feet. They can be together or hips width. And as you breathe in, start to pull your chest up into the air, even as you ground your feet to the floor. You can start to lean back a little. You can start to look up. Take one more breath in. Keep the bind in your arms, fold over your legs. Bend your knees, tuck your chin, and drop in. Notice if your toes are gripping the floor, lift them. Lean your weight out of your heels. Go ahead, head heavy. There we go. Yeah, take one more breath in. And as you exhale, release the bind. Take a halfway lift, hands to shins or blocks, and inhale to stretch long. And now as you exhale, step your left foot back into a low lunge, back knee down to the ground. Let's wake up the hamstrings a little. So your hands can stay on the floor or your blocks, or you can bring your hands to your right thigh or knee. If you'd like to, you can also reach your arms all the way up into the air, low crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Wherever you are, draw your heart forward and up. Yeah, it's almost like that same kind of up dog shape. And then press into the floor through anything that's touching the ground. So you're maintaining foundation. Yeah, and then it's up to you, right? There might be a little bit of like moving into the stretch and coming out of it a little bit. There might be like that full rise up, lifting your chest. Yeah, keep hugging your hips together. There we go. Yeah, full support from below. Yeah, take one more breath. As you exhale, half split, you'll bring your hands down, floor or blocks, and straighten your front leg. Let your chest melt forward over your thigh. Yeah, you can keep hands on blocks. You can stretch your fingers forward like Mickey's doing here. It's almost like the same kind of tractioning. As you stretch your fingers forward, you're still pulling your hips back, your shoulders back. Yeah, you might circle your ankle, point flex your foot. Right, and just breathing into like whatever the sensation is, whatever the experience is in your hips, your hamstrings, in your mind, with love and compassion. Yeah, and then we'll take it really easy. So on your next inhale, rock forward into your lunge. Your hands can stay down or they could reach up. And as you exhale, straighten your front leg and fold over it, half split. And as you inhale, rock forward nice and easy into your lunge, hands down or arms up. And as you exhale, half split, straighten your front leg and fold over it. Take 3 more. And again, like you can take a little more time if you need it. We can move one breath at a time. It's up to you. I look to create a quality of smooth in breath and body. In your gaze, point to point, smooth. One more each way. We're going to meet in that low lunge. So as you're ready, rock forward, hands down or arms up. Good. Really extend right up and out through the sides of your body. Good. Downward facing dog. Plant your hands, step your right foot back and give your head a shake. Drop it, wiggle around, right? Reground. And then we'll take that little flow. So as you breathe in, forward into plank or knees down. And as you exhale, lower your body onto the ground. We'll take cobra or locust. As you inhale, your hands can stay down or you can lift them. Child's pose. As you exhale, press and rest. As you're ready on an inhale, come forward into up dog, or it could be swan. Your toes might lift. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Gaze steady, whether your eyes are open or closed. Know where you're placing your attention, and be compassionate with yourself every time it strays away. Just keep using your tools. As you inhale, take your right leg up into the air. And as you exhale, stack right hip over left and bend your knees. Not crackle pops are good. It's just your body saying hello. As you say hello back, right? Use words of love, of acceptance, of gratitude. And as you breathe in, re-straighten your leg. Take your right leg high. Now, as you exhale, bring your knee into your nose, pass through cheetah, and plant your right foot back between your hands, low lunge, back knee down. And so this flow, we're beginning right now with a lot of points of connection on the ground. You'll notice that your back knee down on the ground, hands on blocks or hands on floor. Then from there, as you're ready, turn your chest to the right, take your right arm high, low lunge twist. And the idea is, right, especially if we're working with tension in the neck or tension in the shoulders, especially even like in the hips, a lot of that tension can come from like feelings of lack of support, right, physically or otherwise. So we want to work from support, really press into the ground. Good, turn your chest high. Yeah, and then as light as you can be on your left wrist. Good, take one more breath in. And then you'll step to the top of your mat and fold into ragdoll pose. Feet together or hips width, you decide. Take the opportunity to drop your head, shake, sway, swing, sigh. And as you breathe in, lift halfway up, hands to shins or blocks. Good, fold over your legs, get empty. Press through your feet, rise all the way up. Reach your arms up, stretch into your feet. And then hands together over your heart or at your sides. A breath in. And a breath out. And as you inhale, reach out and up. And as you exhale, clasp your hands together behind your back. I would invite you to do the wonky hand, the one that doesn't want to go on top. Do that one. And then fists to your hips, pull your elbows back. Maybe start to straighten your arms as you lift your chest. Take a big breath in. Keep the bind as you exhale and fold over your legs. Drop your head, tuck your chin. Even your tongue, right? Like relax your tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Good. And as you inhale, release the bind, take a halfway lift. Hands to shins or blocks, lengthen. You're stepping your right foot back into that low lunge, back knee down on the ground to start. So we work from floor, from foundation. And then when you're ready, your hands can come to your front knee or thigh, or they can reach up into the air. You decide here, and it's just that moment-to-moment calibration. Every single moment, making little tiny shifts that add up to lots of really big change. That's typically the way that it works. Not these like big shifts like overnight, but like tiny attention over time. Keeping your breath free. Keep connecting to your core so you can rise a little higher through your spine. Good. Take one more breath. And into your half split, bring your hands down, straighten your front leg and fold over it. If you have blocks, you can bring them with you underneath your hands. You can also straighten your arms, stretch them forward. There might be a little bit of shake side to side in your hips, a little yes and no with your head or circling with your ankle, right? These shapes don't have to be static. Remember, there's no box. There never was, there never will be. Right, save for the boxes that we place ourselves in. And the good news is if we put ourselves in it, we know how to get out of it, right? And so just do what you need to do. And we'll start to flow it. So as you breathe in, rock forward into your lunge. Your hands could stay down or they could float upward. And as you exhale, rock it back into your half split, into the bow, drop your head. As you inhale, coming into your lunge, heart high. And as you exhale into the bow, half split. Good. Take 3 more, right? Let it be like unique to you in this moment. Maybe you close your eyes, let yourself be moved rather than maybe you doing the moving. And this next one, we'll meet in the lunge. Rock forward if you'd like. You can reach your arms up or keep them steady. Good. Roll your shoulders back. That's it. Take one more luxurious breath in. Downward facing dog, hands to the ground. Step it back. Shake your head a little. Take your flow. As you breathe in, come forward, high plank or table. And as you exhale, lower to the ground. Maybe without your hands, take a locust pose. Your arms could float back. They could reach forward, rising on your inhale. Good. Child's pose. As you exhale, press hips to heels. Drop your head. On an in-breath, swan or up dog, you decide. Downward facing dog, hips high, head low. Wiggle it out. Right side if it serves. On your inhale, take left leg high. Bend your knee, roll your hip open. Yeah, invite all of the conversation back and forth. Just looking to like meet our practice in the same way that it meets us. Like no expectations, no judgment. Take one more breath. Then as you exhale, bring your knee in towards your chest. Good. Low lunge. Left foot between your hands. Back knee comes back down. And then you'll take your left arm to the sky. Lunge twist. Yeah, knowing that you can continue playing with your foundation. If you feel a little wobbly or unsteady, yeah, you can go wider. You can get longer. You could try tucking your back toes versus untucking. Yeah, lovely. Take one more breath. And top of your mat, forward fold, feet together or hips width. Drop your head. Take a halfway lift as you breathe in. Fold, let it empty. Root through your feet, rise all the way to stand. Reach out and up, stretch in every direction. Bring hands to heart or arms at sides. Samasthiti, standing in equanimity. We're going to flow this just a little bit. And my cues are merely guides. Let your breath truly be the force that moves you forward. As you inhale, reach out and up. And as you exhale, clasp hands together behind your back. Take that inhale to stretch your chest up. Keep the bind and fold over your legs. Bend your knees. Tuck your chin. Take a halfway lift as you inhale. Get long. And step your left foot back into your low lunge. Back knee down. As you inhale, reach up if you like, lift your chest up. And as you exhale, fold over your right thigh, half split, drop your brain. Forward into your lunge again. As you inhale, your arms could reach up or stay down. Downward dog as you exhale, another opportunity to drop your head, don't miss it. Take a vinyasa, plank or table on inhale, lower on empty. Maybe a locust as you inhale, no hands needed. You rise up, then to your child's pose, press it back, drop your head. Up dog or swan or table as you inhale, heart lifted. Downward facing dog as you exhale, head low. On your inhale, take your right leg high from your down dog and exhale, stack hip over hip. Good, straighten your leg, take a breath. Then step your right foot through low lunge, back knee down. Right arm high into your lunge twist. Take a big breath in, stretch open. Ragdoll, top of your mat, step forward and fold. A halfway lift as you breathe in. Bow, drop in. Root into your feet, rise and stretch up. Take an inhale, hand to hand over heart. Arms high, your breath in. Clasp your hands behind your back, maybe the weird hand on top. Take an inhale, heart up. And as you exhale, fold over your legs, keep the bind, drop your head. Take a halfway lift as you breathe and lengthen. Step your right foot back, low lunge, back knee down. As you inhale, reach up if you like, heart up high. Right to your half split as you exhale. Straighten your front leg, fold. Rock forward into your lunge one more time. Take a big breath in. Downward facing dog, full step back, head heavy. Into your vinyasa, plank or table on an inhale. Body lowers on empty. A cobra or locust, full breath. Child's pose, full release. Into your up dog or swan as you inhale, rock forward. Downward facing dog, let it go. Other left leg goes high with your inhale. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Take an inhale, re-straighten your leg and step your left foot forward, low lunge. Back knee down. Left arm high as your twist as you breathe in deeply. Ragdoll, top of your mat, step and fold low. Lengthen, a new breath in. Bow, let it out. Good. Rise up, fill your lungs up. Hand to hand over heart. So I'm going to let you play in this a couple more times, one more time maybe each side, and, let it be a framework in which to flow and create. As you inhale, reach up. Clasp your hands behind your back. Inhale, heart up. Good. Bow over your legs, drop in. Take the halfway lift, your inhale. Step your left foot back, low lunge. Maybe you leave your back knee lifted. As you inhale, heart up, maybe arms up. Fold over your front leg as you exhale, half split. Good. Rock forward into your lunge as you breathe in, arms down or arms lifted. Downward facing dog as you exhale, and you take your vinyasa. Vinyasa means you move on purpose. It could be the one that we've been doing. It could be cat-cows. It could be a plank rock. Vinyasa means you move on purpose. And from your down dog, when you're ready, right, follow your breath. The right leg high as your inhale. You bend and open and stretch. As you inhale, re-straighten, step your right foot through into your lunge. Back knee up or down to the right. Take your twist as you breathe in, open up. Forward fold at the top of your mat when you're ready to breathe out. Lengthen as you inhale. Deep fold as you empty. Good. Rise up, stretch high, a new breath gets you there. Hand to hand over heart. Other side, it's yours. Maybe you close your eyes. Worry not about right side, left side, like which step comes next. And instead, move into that space of embodiment, of feeling where you are, time and space and place. Right? And like trusting that the way that you feel called to move from that place is the right call. Maybe it looks nothing at all like you thought. Maybe it colors outside of the lines. Right, but it's yours and you create it and it's beautiful and it's perfectly imperfect, exactly as it is. Rest when you feel called to rest. Drop your head when you feel called to drop your head. Rise when you feel called to rise. We're just going to meet in our downward facing dog when you've completed each side, and there's no hurry, there's no rush getting there. And if child's pose is a friendlier shape to be in than downward dog, something else entirely, please be my guest. In your down dog, maybe a breath in through your nose, open your mouth, stick your tongue out like Simba. Marina was wearing Simba socks when she walked in, so we've got lions on the brain. Let's do that one more time. Breath in through the nose, unhinge your jaw, open your mouth, clear it out. Right leg high, your inhale. Bend your knee, roll your hip open. Take a few extra breaths here. If you wanted to flip your dog, you could pick up your right hand and let yourself land where you land. You can stay in the stretch or put your left knee or forearm down for more support. Oh, you guys could like high five there. Haha. Three-legged dog up and over. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, bring your knee in towards your nose. Plant your right foot between your hands, runner's lunge. Back knee lifted. Spin your back heel flat this time, and you'll rise into a warrior one. Arms out and up. In your warrior one, if your feet are very narrow, like as though you were on a tightrope, you're going to feel very wobbly in your hips. right? So you might even go like more like left to right, like you were on like tracks perhaps. Yeah. Like step your left foot out to the left even more. There we go, girl. Back toes spin forward a little. Yeah, and then you can sit deep into your lunge from a place of support. Hug in. That's it. And you can like test your support just by lifting your toes, right? Like really anchored in your feet. You got it. Take an inhale. And then just like Mickey was doing, as you exhale, clasp your hands together again behind your back. Good. Work to straighten your arms. Lift up your chest as you breathe in. Keep the bind fold over your front leg. It's called humble warrior. Especially here, press into your back foot. Like that's your anchor. Press it down. Invite your hips to sit a little closer to the floor. Drop your head, tuck your chin. Yeah, let the sensation in. Humble, right? Right, open, receptive. Good, guys. Yeah, take one more breath in. Listen, from here, hands to the floor, runner's lunge, right? Back where you started. Take a twist to the right arm unfurling towards the ceiling. And you can always put your back knee down again for more support, or perhaps here, if it's lifted, commit to the lift. Draw your thighs in and let your chest lift higher. Good. Take a full inhale. We're coming to warrior two. So you'll spin your back heel flat again, windmill your arms out and up. Take your arms wide and set your eyes right over your front fingertips. Really good, really good. Ribs drawn in. That's it, yeah. Good, sit low into your lunge and press your front knee towards your pinky toe, right? That's gonna get us open in our hips, kind of stretch through the center of the body. Yeah, keep pressing through your feet firm and strong. Flip your front palm, peaceful warrior, reach your heart up. If your neck's feeling cranky, maybe you look down. We don't always have to look up. We can just see the ground, see right where we are. Yeah, take one more inhale. Come into a side angle. So your right forearm to your right thigh or hand to a block. Let's try a block. Yeah. Can come to the inside of your front leg, lunge in. Good, there we go. Then take your top arm over your head. Just kind of create a long line from back heel to front fingers. Let's drape the top arm behind the back. So your left arm will relax behind your back. Relax your shoulders, a half bind, yes. Now lift your chest, right? Set your eyes and spin both sides of your chest to the ceiling. Good, breathe deeply, Ujjayi. Yeah, let the sensation in, and maybe there's heat building, and heat is so good for you. It's transformative, right? Stay in, 3. You can, 2. Good, one more. Let's see what happens. Warrior 2, rise back up from your strength. Peacefully reverse your warrior. Take a big inhale. Good, downward facing dog. Cartwheel, hands to the floor. Get that right leg out of there. Maybe it's a 3-legged dog and you got to shake it out or wiggle it out. Maybe you got to flip it out. We'll take a vinyasa, high plank, low plank, cat-cows work. Remember, vinyasa means you move on purpose in your own way, in a way that has meaning to you today. Rest however long you need to rest. Child's pose. Down dog is where we will meet. Maybe you close your eyes, listen for your breath, right? Amidst whatever the sensations, right, or the feels that are arising, right? Your breath as that steady source of support. In through your nose, fill up. Out of your mouth, clear it out. Good, left leg high. Bend your knee. Roll your hip open, right? Stay in the stretch or flip your dog or take anything at all that feels right. Remember, you can always put your right forearm or knee on the ground for more support. 3-legged dog is where we will meet. Take a big inhale. Kick your left leg up into the air and then step your left foot forward between your hands. Runner's lunge to begin. Spin your back heel flat and then arrive into warrior 1. Both feet rooted, arms and heart rise up high. Good, yes. Yeah, that wider base of support, maybe left to right, front to back. Yeah, and mindful that your left knee stays stacked directly over your left heel. Right, so you have support from below to rise from. And in the breath in, rise a little higher through your spine. Then clasp your hands behind your back. Maybe it's the wonky hand, right? The weird one on top. As you inhale, heart up, maybe gaze up. Humble warrior, melt your chest over your front thigh. Plug your feet into the ground, right? Like stay rooted. stay connected. And from that place of support, be willing to drop your head, to let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. Smooth out that space between your eyes. Good. Lunge in a little further because you can. Greet the sensation as it is. Runner's lunge, hands to the floor, back knee up or down. Left arm high, take your twist. Spin through your middle. Breathe into the sides of your body. Right back leg so strong. Good. Warrior two, spin your back heel flat, windmill your arms out and up, land your eyes right away. See exactly where you are. When I first started practicing yoga, I had a really difficult time with drishti. My eyes were all over the place. My mind was all over the place. And one of my cohorts just said, like, maybe you just envision a flame, like staring at a flame, dancing around in front of you. And every time your mind wanders, you say the flame and you come back. Right, so using tools, right, anchored here now. Flip your front palm, peaceful warrior, a full breath in. Side angle pose. We're gonna meet this sensation, right? No expectations, not trying to change it. Left forearm to thigh or left hand to block, top arm up and over your head. Good, let your hips sit low. Take that full side body stretch. Top arm behind your back, half bind. Right, and then easy in your shoulders. Good, let your chest lean back a little bit. There we go, good. Yeah, core engaged. Yeah, free in your breath. You got it. Take one more. Warrior two, so strong. Press through your feet, rise up. Peaceful warrior. You can straighten your front leg if you like. Take a breath in. Downward dog. Cartwheel hands to the floor, step it back, shake it out. Three-legged dog if you prefer, to shake your dog tail. Vinyasa flow. Like rinse and release, right? And think about like a wet towel and it's got all this like gunky, cruddy stuff in it, right? We got to twist it. We got to rinse it. It takes time and attention. Good. Breath in through your nose, maybe out of your mouth. Good. Let's take a child's pose ever so briefly. We are going to flow this, but maybe coming back down to the ground for a moment or two in time. All right. Dropping back down into the earth, the weight of anything extra or unnecessarily held. And then on your inhale, shift forward into your swan or loungy upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, we meet. Good. Head heavy, neck long and free. Here we go. Right leg high as your inhale. Bend your knee. Stack your hip. As you inhale, re-straighten your leg. And as you exhale, step your right foot forward, warrior one. Plant your feet. Sweep your arms up as you inhale. Clasp your hands behind your back as your out breath. Take a deep breath in just to lift your chest. And fold humble warrior over your right leg. Take an extra breath here. Good. Runner's lunge. Hands frame your front foot. Right arm high as your lunge twist. Back knee up or down. You get to breathe in. Take it in. Warrior two, up and over. Windmill up. Set your eyes. Peacefully reverse your warrior. Take an inhale. Good. Side angle is your exhale. Hand to block or forearm to thigh. It's a full breath in, just a stretch. Warrior two, rise back up. Peaceful warrior, or you straighten your front leg, reverse triangle. Hands to the floor, downward facing dog. Make your way, vinyasa flow. This practice of coming home, of moving from connection, an intuitive, intentional way, vinyasa. From your downward facing dog, clear your slate, other side, left leg goes high with your inhale. Bend your knee, roll it open. As you inhale, re-straighten and step through, warrior one. Plant your feet, an in-breath picks you up. Hands clasp behind your back as you breathe out. And then you take that inhale just to open, stretch up, and humbly bow. Drop your head. Take that extra breath. Runner's lunge, frame your front foot. Take your twist, left arm high. Deep breath now. Warrior two, ground your feet, windmill up and open, steady your eyes, steady your mind. Peacefully reverse your warrior, your inhale. Side angle, left forearm to thigh, right arm high. Take an extra breath, don't rush it. Warrior two, from strong base, rise, reverse it up one more time. Your inhale to stretch up. Hands to the floor, downward facing dog, take it home. Vinyasa flow, friends, make your way through. And so you'll take however many breaths you need to take in your child's pose or your downward facing dog, and then you're going to do this flow one more time. And again, remember, it's a framework. My invitation to you today would be that you close your eyes, like feel where you are, right? And move in a way like that's going to serve you today. Fast or slow, like smooth, all the same. Right, like add in where you feel called to add in, subtract where you feel called to subtract. Take the extra breaths where you feel called to linger. Right, like no teacher greater than the teacher within you. Like that timeless teacher. The one that knows you better than anybody else ever could, ever would. Moving through sensation, like the shakes, the sweat, right? And greeting perhaps the sensation with love or with curiosity, with gratitude. Right? Like this body of yours designed to feel. And why would it have been designed that way if not to feel fully? And taking your time as you make your way through your second side, unhurried, unhurried. And let it take whatever it takes, one breath at a time. And if you get distracted or you get overwhelmed, maybe you just rest. You could drop into child's pose or drop your head. Right? Come back over and over again. It's not that I don't get caught up in emotion. It's not that I don't like get distracted or fall off the path or stumble off of it occasionally. Right? But I always know how to find my way back because I practice coming back. How would I know how to find my way back if the path was perfect and I stayed on it all the time? If I never had to work to step myself, to walk myself back in? So when you finish your flow each side, choose a shape. It might be a child's pose. It might be a shavasana. It might be standing on your hands or standing on your head or anywhere in between. Right, so maybe you close your eyes. Right, let it be a natural, organic movement in. We'll meet there, rest there, recollect, reset. 5 breaths. Breathe every single breath in that same purposeful way, whether you're moving, whether you're still. Yeah. Now look forward, Marina. Yeah, girl. And after your 5th breath, you'll move through a vinyasa. You could step through, jump through, go to down dog or cat cow. We'll meet at the top of the mat. where we're heading. Uh-huh. You can dangle in your ragdoll pose at the top of your mat. Wiggle your jaw, stick your tongue out. Rise all the way up to stand as you're ready. Roll through your shoulders, reach up. Hand to hand over heart or arms at sides, mountain pose, standing in equanimity with all that is exactly as it is. Yeah. So as you inhale, go ahead, reach up. We're going to take eagle pose. So you'll bend your knees to start. We're standing on the right leg first. So you'll wrap your left arm underneath your right like you're giving yourself a hug. Wrap your left leg on top of your right like you're sitting fancy in a chair. So you want to bend both of your knees. And then bring your forearms together or your palms together. And so you just kind of have this little like twisted up thunderbolt type shape. Now, vital that we don't get twisted up in it, right? So set your eyes to the horizon. Let your shoulders melt into the back of your heart. And then hug tight to your core and lift your heart high. There we go. Good. Soften jaw. Take one more breath. And step down, release it. Plant your feet, reach up. Yeah, release it out. Other side eagle. So you'll stand on your left leg. Right arm goes underneath into that hug or that cross. Right leg on top. Yep, and then in the wobble and the balance, like willing to fall out, right? Like it's typically one of those things like the more we resist it, the more it persists. Like the more tightly we grasp and hold, the more it slips through our fingers. So finding that balance of holding on and letting go. Take one more breath. Then release it out, step down, roll through your shoulders, reach up. One more time, other side. Stand on your right leg, left leg on top. Left arm underneath, eagle pose. Right, and like an eagle, like clear vision. Right, but willing to like ride the currents. Yeah. Take one more breath. Release it, root down, reach up. One more time, eagle. Stand on your left leg, right leg on top, right arm underneath. Like all wrapped up, but not wrapped up in it at all. And it's okay if you do get wrapped up, but you're in this practice of like, oh, just setting your eyes again, softening again, smoothing the edges a little bit. Oh yeah, take one more breath. Yep, and then release it. Step down, reach up, hand to hand over your heart. Okay, let's take dancer pose. Stand on your right leg. Sweat is dripping, it's good. Standing on your right leg, reach your right arm up. Flip your left palm to the ceiling and bring your left hand behind you, like you were carrying a tray of cookies. Then bend your left knee, grab the big toe side of your left foot, put it in your palm and hug in. You can stay like this. It's a great stretch on the shoulder, or you can start to kick into your hand and tip forward from your hips. And it's this give and take, like a dance, right? Like little bit in, little bit out, little bit in, little bit out. Yeah, breath by breath by breath. Stay rooted to your standing leg. Press down. Good. Hug in through center. There we go. Take one more breath. And release it. Step down. Sweep both arms high. Other side. Left arm lifted. Bring your right palm face up. Swing it behind you. Bend your right knee. Grab the big toe side of your foot and hug your thighs in. You can stay or begin to kick into your back hand as you reach forward and tip. Right, and just a little in, a little out, a little in, a little out. If you saw me and my husband dance, you would know that like we're stepping on each other's feet all the time. We're like elbowing each other in the face, and that doesn't mean we stop dancing. It just means that we re-presence ourselves and do the best that we can. Take one more breath. Release it, step down. One more time, dancer pose. I used to say I hate dancing. Like I had this whole hang up about dancing because I thought that it was something that had to be done a certain way, that had to look a certain way. I was pretty mechanical and robotic about it, and it was super non-enjoyable. And it wasn't until I really like decided, you know what, like this is supposed to be fun. I need to make it my own. I need to do it my own way and not worry about how other people do it or what other people say. Change sides when you're ready, dancer pose. And there's a lightness and a freedom that comes in that, right? Like no box, no right, no wrong, but just as a pure expression of what's within. Embodied experience. One more breath. Good. Release it out. Step down. Both arms high. Take an inhale. Hands to heart or sides. Just stand in your mountain. Stand in your mountain. Rooted, grounded, connected, and free. And breath in through your nose. Sigh it out. Roar it out. Reach up. Fill your lungs up. Bow forward over your legs. Take a halfway lift as you breathe in and take a flow. Could be cat-cows, right? It could be high to low plank. You could throw in the arm balance, a crow, right? Like whatever feels right. Move from feeling, I promise. Move from feeling. You'll know what's right. Like as we start to like build this relationship with feeling and understand that we are not our feelings, that they are these changeable things, right? We can be with them fully and still be very clear, like where I am, how I want to feel, right? Where I want to be. And so go ahead, take a deep breath in, sigh it out, let it go. Come forward into plank or tabletop one final time. Draw your body up from the floor. Press into the earth like you could move it, like Superman. Take a deep inhale. Slowly lower 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to the floor. Pick a cheek and simply rest. Simply rest. Opposite cheek. Simply rest. Let the ground hold you up, the earth hold you up, to do what it does best. And we'll come into a Sphinx pose. So you'll bring your forearms out in front of your chest with your elbows underneath your shoulders and just let your chest lift. And now feel free to play with it here. Your feet can be hips width distance apart, right? They don't have to be like super glued together. And just notice if your heels are turning like in towards each other, you might consider turning your heels out sort of away from each other. And that's just going to create a little more freedom in your sacrum and your lower back. Yeah, there you go. And then from here, like you might scoot your elbows further forward for less of a lift in your chest. You can, just take your gaze maybe down towards the top of your mat so there's no strain in your neck. Even drop your head a little if that felt okay. And to really stretch out your lower back if you'd like, you can press your forearms firmly down into the ground, stretch through your toes, and almost imagine you were dragging your body along the floor, letting your chest pull forward. Good. Take a breath. And as you exhale, lower down, elbows wide, pick a cheek or rest on your forehead. Let's open our shoulders a little bit more. So let's start back in Sphinx pose. Lift up onto your forearms, lift up your chest. And on your forearms, you're going to go ahead and take your right hand and bring it behind your left elbow, palm face up. From here, pull your right arm through, like that thread the needle we did in the child's pose, and lower your forehead or your cheek down to the ground. Let me see if you can reach this way. Yes, yes, and let your chest drop, your left arm can straighten. Yeah, drop all the way, bone heavy. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, and just really allowing like that sinking in action to occur with every out breath. Releasing out, letting go of the weights that are no longer yours to carry, maybe never were. Your legs be heavy, your feet relax. Nothing to hold up. Luckily, The earth is doing that part. Mm. Keeping your arms as they are. Take your left knee out to the side like a tree pose, inner thigh resting on the ground. Yeah. So if your foot is close to your body like tree, it'll be a little less sensational probably. If you move your foot further away from your body, more like a 90-degree, it might be a little more sensational. And so, just like find that sweet spot. Goldilocks zone, not too much, not too little, but just right. Mm. And breath by breath, right? Like allowing out what wants out, in what wants in. Take a breath in. Maybe open your mouth, let it empty. And we're going to take this into a reclining twist. So all you got to do is take your left arm, the one that's on top, reach it up into the air and behind you, and just kind of roll, like roll until the back of your body finds the ground behind you. And I promise it's there. You can just trust that the floor of the earth is still there. So just kind of keep rolling until you find it. Let your arms splay out, or you can put a hand on your knee. You can even let your knee or your leg kind of float up off the ground a little bit. It doesn't need to be any particular way. And breathe deeply into the sides of your body, space between your ribs. And a full breath in, and maybe a letting go breath out. And back onto your belly when you're ready. Roll your way there. It could be elbows wide. It could be your arms along your side. Just belly down, downward facing Shavasana. Take a moment or two. And then we'll come into Sphinx pose, just a setup. Bring your forearms out in front of you just to lift your chest enough that you can thread your left hand behind your right elbow, palm face up, and then pull your left arm through. Kind of like we did in that child's pose. Forehead can come down or your left cheek. And straighten your right arm forward as you like, and then just kind of sink in, almost like you were resting on soft earth or warm sand. That little feel of like give beneath you. And when you're ready, you can take your right knee out to the side, inside of your right thigh and knee resting on the ground. And foot could be closer to your body or further from it. Maybe the side is very different. Just work with what is. And almost like you were dropping into an embrace, right? Like nothing to hold up, nothing to hold back. Like a whole body hug. And taking a breath in, maybe a sigh. You can turn it into your twist by just taking your right arm up and behind you and just kind of keep rolling backward. Trust that the ground is there, that it will catch you. And when you're there, just kind of let your arms splay out or rest your hands on your body. Soften through your midsection. Let gravity do what she does best. Easy breath in. Just as easy on the out. And you're basically there. Go ahead and just like from here, roll all the way onto your back. And like all the way onto your back. You might have to shimmy a little bit to get onto your mat. And once there, like take a full body stretch. Use your arms behind you. Stretch your legs forward. Kind of draw your knees to your chest or feet on the floor. You could take a little rock, whether it's knees swaying side to side or hugging your knees and kind of rolling, circling. Happy baby pose. If you like a little bit more hips before we conclude, knees wide, feet wide, you can grab your feet or your toes. Keep your head and shoulders heavy. And then when you're ready, go ahead and lay it down. Take your feet out long on your mat. And they can just land where they land. They don't have to be together anywhere in particular. Let your arms relax along your sides, maybe palms face up, right? Open, receptive, available. Close your eyes. And then go ahead and right from where you are, like kind of like take your big toes and point them in towards each other like a little like pigeon toed. Take a deep breath in and hold it in. And then open your mouth, empty it out, relax your ankles, let them flop open. And make fists with your hands. Take a big breath in, squeeze, hold it in. And open your mouth, sigh it out, relax your wrists. One more time, take a big breath in, sip it in, hold it in. Open your mouth, clear it out, relax it all, let it all fall away. Let it all soak in as it's meant to be received. Shavasana. Resting in the experience of your rest. And within it and of it, all as it is, you as you are. Let your breath walk you home, back in, place within, timeless teacher. A place of wisdom that knows as you start to move and reawaken and stretch exactly how to move and transition and make your way into a seat of your choosing. And as you arrive in your seat, and your palms reunite together, hand over heart, one supporting the other infinitely. And we'll take a clearing breath in, a clearing breath out. Just this sound of absolutely infinite beginnings. One Om. From heart center to wisdom center. May all beings everywhere be happy and peaceful and free. May the thoughts and words and actions of my life be a contribution to that happiness and peace and freedom for all. Be the love and light. Namaste.